Hello, and welcome to another Rangaroo's unit of the week. And today we're taking a look at the ZSU-23-4 Afganski. So the Afganski first started life as a Shilka, which was a Russian AA weapon developed from the 60s all the way to the early 80s, using 4 23mm cannons to shoot down low-flying aircraft with an awful lot of firepower. So the Afganski, or its official name, the ZSU-23-4M2, was a version of the Shilka that was adapted for the Afghan War, the Soviet Afghan War in the 80s. So they removed the radar disc on top because you're not really going to be shooting down that many planes because the Afghans didn't have any, and they added a night sight so it could shoot at night. They also doubled the ammunition load from 2,000 rounds to 4,000 rounds. In-game, the Afganski is a 20-point Soviet Union vehicle. It has year restriction of 1978, so you can have it in all category decks, and it is type restricted to armoured, motorised, mechanised, and support decks. And if we take a look at the Afganski's only weapon, well, technically 4 weapons, we have the A2P-23 Amar, a 23mm autocannon, or 4 23mm autocannons with 2,000 rounds, even though in real life it had 4,000, with range of ground of 1.5 kilometers, and the same range against helicopters with a range of 1.4 kilometers to airplanes, 20% accuracy, 5% stabilizers, 1 HE, and a whopping 1,764 rounds a minute. It's an awful lot of firepower. It's 4 bloody 23mm cannons firing off at infantry, lightly armoured targets, and heck, maybe even aircraft if they get a bit too close. It's not entirely accurate, but when you're chucking over 1,000 rounds down range a minute, I think accuracy are the least of your concerns. And if you pop down to its miscellaneous stats, has 2 frontal armour, 1 on the side, 1 on the back, and 1 up top for a very lightly armoured beast, medium size, poor optics, 50 kilometers normal speed, 110 road speed, and an autonomy of 400 kilometers. In battle, the Afganski is a very versatile piece of kit. For only 20 points it can fill in a huge multitude of roles. It can shoot down enemy helicopters and stun up enemy planes if they do get too close, and I will admit they have to get pretty bloody close, as you have very short range. You can stun up enemy tanks with just overwhelming firepower, and mainly this vehicle is fantastic at dealing with infantry. It's like using bloody ant repellent on an ant nest. We have a bunch of infantry dug in a town, Panjäger 90s for example, just Panzerfausting, or your T-72s and T-64s, and you want to get in that town, but you don't want to waste your money on an expensive bomber, and you forgot to bring your Buratino. The Afganski is the vehicle for you, as it can just get in right close, shoot those buggers to smithereens with overwhelming autocannon firepower, and then pop back to base for a little bit of ammo resupply. It is fantastic. It's just a very effective unit. You can't really go wrong bringing it in your deck. It's cheap, it can fulfill an awful lot of roles, it's great at plugging in those gaps in your defences, and it's great at dealing with infantry in towns, which a lot of ground units really have trouble with unless you're using artillery or an awful lot of bombing with like a B-5 bomber for an example. But yeah, overall, the Afganski, it's just bloody good. Bloody cheap goodness, and heck, you can't really go wrong with 4 23mm autocannons. You can never go wrong with that much firepower. But hey, it's been another Rangaroo's unit of the week. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and most importantly, take it easy.